Good morning, Gemini. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing good. Welcome aboard the Cosmic Chariot. I'm going to be your tarot reader today. My name is Tyler. How are you guys doing? Alright, so Gemini, this is going to be your past life reading. Not all messages will resonate, but take what resonates and leave the rest behind. For that being said, if you do find that you're resonating with any of these messages, you're welcome to hit that like button or hit that subscribe button to let me know that you're resonating and enjoying my content and that you want to see more. Now, Gemini, this will be a general reading, so if you are wanting a more personal reading, whether it's love or career or just a general what's going on in your life reading or a past life reading, because this is a general reading, you can message me on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook if you have me added on there. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the reading, but other than that, if you want to check that out, you can go ahead and do that. But yeah, it's completely free and you can check it out if you would like. But other than that, let's get right into the reading. Alright, so today we'll be using the Gaia Tarot deck. And yeah. So at the bottom of the deck, you have the Three of Fire. So with the Three of Fire in reverse here, that tells, this is your overall energy. So that tells me that in this past life, you were a traveler, or maybe you didn't like to travel because it is in reverse, but for some of you, you tended to travel a lot. And I see that you did a lot of walking as well. And you could have been a fire sign in this past life, but you were someone that was very happy and very fulfilled. Like you loved doing, things on your own, and you liked being on your own journey. All right? So let's see what your first card is. So this is who you were in this past life. In this past life, you were, so you have the Maiden here, but it's in reverse, so that could be that you were someone that wasn't in royalty, so you could have been, someone that was poor or someone that didn't really have much to offer, but you were super adventurous. This could also mean that you were a male instead of a female, indicating that no, you're not a female. You were a male, but at the end of the day, they are both in reverse. So, the energy is there. You have boy, girl. You could have been either. But other than that, I see that you were very close with nature, and you really enjoyed the outdoors. I'm getting that from both cards. All right. So, card number 2, what did you do in this past life? So, in this past life, you have the King of Water. So, in reverse, so that tells me that you were someone that possibly tried to dethrone the king, or maybe you were a knight for the king. Either way, you weren't royalty, but you were just someone that was in, I don't know how to put it, like you were in the presence of the king, but you weren't quite the king. You could have also been in royalty, but you never grew up to be king. So that's for some of you. So for some of you, you could have been a farmer, or maybe this king kicked you out of the village and you had to go off by yourself and do your own thing and survive and live your life. But other than that, let's check out card number 3. So what challenges did you face? So you faced so you have the 8 of Wands, or the 8 of Fire here. So that tells me that you weren't very intuitive in this past life. So maybe you just had a hard time seeing things from a different perspective. Or just like, I don't know, let me, you have this fiery energy here, but you also have the third eye here, which tells me that maybe you were always jealous of someone else, and that's why you have these green eyes here. So maybe you were envious of other people, and you felt like you never had what other people had, that you deserved a lot more in this past life. And that's why, in this life, you have a lot more, or you are grateful for things that you do have, because in this past life, you didn't really have, those big, you know, fancy cars, or not fancy cars, but like you guys know what I mean, the fancy horses and stuff like that. Um, you weren't in royalty, and you were very envious of, the king and the throne and stuff like that. So you definitely could have been from Ireland, I'm getting, or possibly even England, for some. But yeah, you had this fiery nature to you, and it's weird. All these cards are coming up in reverse, and I know there aren't reversals in this deck because I shuffled it both ways. Not just reversals, I should say. Um, but yeah, let's see how you died. Again, you have another Earth card, or another King card, but in reverse. So, so you have the King of Earth here. So that tells me that you could have died from the King. You also could have died a very natural death, because this is a earthy energy. You probably could have gotten. Oh my god. You probably could have gotten injured on a hunt, and you died because you couldn't heal from it. Maybe you're bleeding out too much. But whatever it was, uh, and again with the green eyes, something was, envious. Maybe you're envious of someone, and you tried to attack them on a hunt, and it backfired on you, and it ended up um, changing your whole perspective on the situation, or the roles ended up being reversed. Whatever ended up happening, you just didn't enjoy it. Um, but yeah, so that's how you died. And for some of you, you could have been very confused. You could have been poisoned for others. Um, but something about confusion here, because their third eye is, in a swirl in the card. So that tells me that there's some sort of confusion here. Maybe someone lied to you and said that, um, oh, so and so is over here, you should go over towards that way, or this is over there, you should go that way, and they went a separate way, and they ended up tricking you, and you could have fell off a cliff, or maybe you went into a bear's den by accident, and you just felt tricked, and so now in this life you could be wanting revenge or something along those lines, or in one of your past lives you seek revenge, um, for that person. um, but yeah, so let's see so card number 5 is, what lessons did you learn in this past life? Okay, so you have the Ace of Air here, which is the Ace of Swords. So you learned about perspective. You learned on how to perceive things very clearly. So I'm getting that you just weren't very clear on perspective for a while. And then once you started learning it, you were just like, oh, so just because I perceive things one way doesn't mean that it always has to be that way. It can be a different way. It can be, you know, something different, right? And that's what you started understanding. For some of you, you could have healing hands, and that's where this Ace of um, Air comes into play, because if you really look into their hands, they have this really yellow orb, which kind of represents healing inside the hands, right around the hands. Like when you're, I don't know if you guys know this, but when you build up energy inside your hands, there's a ball that is similar to this. It just builds up in between your hands as you're building up that energy and stuff like that. Um, if you have healing hands, then you do. Um, I do Reiki. That's how I know I have healing hands, and that's how I know what healing hands really look like. Um, and how it feels. You know, you get that really nice feeling when you're just holding energy inside the ball, and then you release it, you know, into someone so that way they can heal from, you know, the energy and stuff like that, or you can heal yourself and put it in your chakras. Yeah, cool. So you have the six of not the six of you have the sixth card. So let's see how this past life influenced you. Wow, you have all reversals except for the ace of air. Wow, that is interesting. So you have emotions. So yeah, your emotions really got the better of you in this past life, and it it still affects you in this lifetime. And that's what really, you know, haunts you. So whatever happened in this past life, you are still dealing with those issues in this lifetime. And it's really hard for you because not only do you have to deal with it again, but you have to you gotta, you know, try to figure out how to do something different, how to, you know, fix the things that you couldn't do before. And it's a whole new perspective that you just didn't have, you know. All right, so let's clarify the Eight of Wands again, or let's clarify the Eight of Wands. Tell me more about the Eight of Wands, or the Eight of Fire. But yeah, you have very strong emotions. You could be dealing with a Cancer, or you could be a Cancer in this past life. But you also have very earthy energy or fire energy as well. Well, all the elements are here, so you could be dealing with any sign, or not dealing, but you could have been any sign, but you came out as a earth sign, so keep that in mind. Alright. Alright. Whoops. Alright, so one more shuffle. Okay. Gemini, you have the King of Fire. So again, with this fiery energy, and this is what challenges you faced. So maybe you just face confidence. You know, you had a hard time being confident about yourself and your abilities to do things, and that's what really caught you off guard. So maybe you had a hard time talking to girls or whatever because your confidence just wasn't there. So in this lifetime, you're wanting to build that confidence so that way you can, you know, move forward and finally achieve things that you couldn't achieve in that past life. All right, so for that being said, I hope you guys resonate and enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help grow my channel, and I really do appreciate it. Namaste. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. If you would like to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, the links will be down in the description box below. If you want to check out any of the other videos on my channel, you can hit that channel button and it'll take you to a whole bunch of videos on my channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.